Blessings everyone, this is Chris Kendall from therawAdvantage.com, registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach, and raw chef. Today we're getting into plantains and how to eat them raw. This may delight, surprise, even gross you out. Let's get into it.
Baby, I like it raw. Raw Advantage likes it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Hey.
Alright guys, so here we have the humble plantain, often referred to as a cooking banana because in most countries where they're grown, they're cooked. In fact, in many places, even the countries that are grown, people don't think you can eat them raw. I've eaten them raw before, tons and tons. They're really delicious. In fact, I enjoy them more than regular bananas just eating them. And to me, they taste like marshmallow bananas when they're properly ripened. But a lot of people just don't know how ripe they need to be in order to be really sweet and edible. Now, plantains, they simply contain more starch than regular bananas, and so they require more ripening. So when you have a fully yellow plantain like this, that's hard, it's going to be quite starchy. And this is what a lot of people would chop up and then fry or bake. Very similar to potatoes. It's just that potatoes, as they get ripe, they don't convert into simple sugars. Whereas plantains, just like bananas and other fruit, when they get ripe, they turn into simple sugars. Now, something that's really fun to note, my first YouTube video I ever did 12 years ago now is called My Favorite Fall Fruit. And in that video I was really showcasing persimmons, but also plantains, because a lot of people just don't know how to eat them, right? So it's a bit of a time capsule. I'll show you the link below. It's pretty funny being my first video ever. And I figured it was time to bring this up again because still these days people are amazed when I tell them that you can eat plantains raw. So this isn't a ripe one. You guys want to see what a ripe one looks like? Well, let's go through the whole list. Alright, so here we go. Now we have 6 different plantains here that you can see. So starting with that guy here, it's still very starchy, it's very hard, and that's one of the big things that you really want to know, because if you're in the tropics where they're grown, they're going to be picking a little later and a little bit more ripe, so they'll actually get soft sooner. Being in northern countries or countries further away from the equator where they're grown, typically they pick them earlier so that they take a little longer to ripen. So it can be a little bit different if you're living in the tropics, but this guy here is hard, it's starchy, that's more for cooking. You could eat it, it's just not gonna digest super smooth. This one here, it's getting softer, but it's not squishy, it's darker, it's gonna be a little bit sweeter. This is on the cusp of where I'd use it in certain recipes, like my cinnamon buns recipe, which is down below, seriously a crowd favorite. And my pancake recipe, which I'll be making a video for next week. So you'll be able to check that out. This next one here, there we go. You can start to see it's starting to get softer. This is the stage where most grocery stores would actually either throw them away or put them in the discount bin. So if you get to know your produce manager, you can always say like, hey, make sure you hang on to those plantains as they get ripe. If no one buys them, I'll buy them, because right here, I would still buy this. It's really squishy, it's dark. It's gonna be really sweet. Next to that, we have even more. It's just getting more and more squishy. This is kind of that stage where people start to get afraid and really think it's rotten, but this is still gold. This is still really darn good. Now this is fully ripe. All of the starches have turned into simple sugar. It's gonna be goopy in there, but it's gonna taste seriously like banana marshmallow. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna open these up and show you. Now sometimes, you can see the difference here. This one, you can tell, still has a lot of water content. It's really gushy and soft. This one has shrunk up, it's gushy, but there's not as much water content. And sometimes even down here, it's hard, it can dry out. And that's gonna have to do with the water content of the banana itself. If you see a break in the skin of a ripe plantain, chances are that it's actually fermented and rotten in that area, and you probably lost the whole one. If it stays nice and soft and you can't squeeze any little bits out, there's no breaks in the skin, the inside is very likely to be delicious. But of course, opening it up and seeing will give you the final indicator. Now, one other thing with plantains, they can get moldy, and what I've found is with the mold on the outside of the skin, it's a very thick, tough skin, not a big worry. But to prevent the mold, what you do is you try and keep your plantains in a place that has a lot of breathability. So whether that's in hanging baskets or on the counter, or just away from damp areas where there's a lot of surface area touching the plantain. So let's open some of these guys up and you can see what they look like. So This one here, I don't know, let's see if we can open it. There we go. So the peel is really tough. It's got that noise. It doesn't really want to be peeled. Interestingly too, plantains are about 25% higher in calories per gram or per pound than bananas. So that makes them a really big caloric hit. And as I mentioned, they taste like marshmallows, like vegan marshmallows, raw vegan marshmallows, no joke. So this guy here is pretty starchy, but it's still gonna be kind of sweet. But not super sweet, not super delightful. This is better for cooking. Next here, we have, as the skin dries, sometimes you need a knife. So this guy here, still quite hard to open. There we go. The peels are noticeably harder to peel typically than regular bananas. But we're looking at a very similar plantain to that first one. It's gotten a little bit softer, but it's still quite hard. And it's getting sweeter. This would be again on the cusp of what I'd use in some recipes, or maybe even eating it if that's all I had. Now this one is where it's going to start to get really nice. Let's open that up. Oh my, this is going to freak you out a little bit, guys. This will freak you out a bit. Look at this. See, it's completely floppy. It's even gooey, right? Look at that. But it's melt in your mouth, super sweet. To me, way more enjoyable than regular bananas out of hand. Amazing. Now, of course, if you open it up and it smells fermented, or you taste a little bit and it's not sweet, it's more vinegary, then it's gone too far. But what I've found is typically if they're soft and squishy and there's no breaks in the peel, then they're gonna be a-okay. You just don't want that aerobic bacteria growing in there. Wow, okay, so delicious, delicious. This next one here, oh, I mixed them up. You can see they're progressively getting softer and softer and softer. This one's gonna be very similar to that one. This one here is like straight jelly. Let's cut that open. Oh my. As they get really soft, they can actually start to discolor a little bit, and that's where people might get even more afraid. And it's really where it's starting to, some of the antioxidants in there are starting to lose their value, and the banana itself is losing color because of that. But look at that. Oh my gosh, seriously, this actually smells like, and look at that, I know it's disgusting, but don't knock it until you've tried it, and I swear to you, I'm not leading you astray. This is like, oh my God. It actually tastes like a roasted marshmallow. No word of a lie. It's like a cross between a roasted marshmallow and Teddy Graham cereal. Like, it is insane. Like, so freaking good. Whenever I feed these to people who've never had them, they always trip out. They're like, oh my freaking God, this is so good. I never believed it. I thought it would be just junk, but no, it's like, wow. 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 This one's gonna be pretty identical. I'm not even gonna open it. But I'll open up this one here. Now the bottom half here, it's actually quite hard. Let's see. So you can kind of see it's actually like a rock, and it's almost like a dried banana gummy kind of chew, you know, and it's still actually okay. It just tastes like a dehydrated plantain. So that can be used as a little chew, or that can be used in a smoothie. When they're really ripe like this, I either usually use them in smoothies or just eat them like this out of hand, or eat them with lettuce or something like that. But my God. But the rest of this one here, sometimes you even just need to use a knife and cut it open. There we go. Same kind of situation. Still looks really similar to that other one. Really, really ripe. You can even see all the little seeds in there, which is pretty darn cool. But wow, look at that, just open up. It's so cool. Wow, look Look at that. Just look at that. I tell you, plantains are an amazing treat. They work so good in specific recipes. Like there's certain recipes, like I said, like the cinnamon buns or pancakes, I won't use bananas, I'll only use plantains. And I tell you, you can find them in almost any major grocery store, especially if you ask the produce manager if they have them on the list, because sometimes they don't buy them, but you can ask them to put them on the list. I've been in many countries and continents around the world, and it's very rare for me to not be able to find them if I actually look and ask some produce managers. So, seriously, it is insane. It is so darn good, and don't be afraid of a little bit of darkness here. Some things go up, other things go down. This is basically pre-digested, super simple sugars, and really nutrient dense too. Typically plantains aren't cultivated as much, so it's pretty safe to say that their nutrient content in general, the soil is gonna be a little better than the general banana plantation. But even beyond that, just in general, they are actually a little higher in calories and higher nutrition per calorie than regular Cavendish bananas. So they are a really neat treat. I hope this encourages you to go out, buy some plantains. They can take anywhere from a week to a month to ripen, depending upon what stage you get them in and the temperature in your house and stuff like that. But you're gonna wanna watch them, you're gonna wanna flip them, and if they do get mold, wash it off and make sure it air dries really well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you just thought this was disgusting and you wouldn't even try it, even if it was gold, give it a thumbs down or just let me know below, you know? It's all good, but I tell ya, don't knock it till you try it. As always, wishing you much peace, love, and seasonal fruit.
Go get you some plantains. Look, but they're gold.
Ooh, don't forget to check out my raw recipes playlist in the top left, the video just for you in the top right, subscribe for more videos in the bottom right, and get your 3 free ebooks in the bottom left. Grab your free raw recipe app, available on iPhone and Android, with over 100 free raw recipes, common fruit and vegetable calorie breakdown, frickin' raw, some food combining chart, shopping cart function, and so much more.